Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about the major news of the day. And no, it's not CPI. It's really about FTX. How is the market going to react when FTX starts dumping its Bitcoin, Solana, and other crypto? Because it is coming. So if you look at this headline news, they got the official okay from the judge to start selling off assets and to basically gather cash. So they decided the best way to repay creditors is with cash, not with crypto, for whatever reason. I would think just giving people back their crypto makes more sense, but no, they want to convert it and they don't want to deal with volatility. So that's exactly what happened. So they got the okay. Now, there is a stipulation. Right now, FTX holds about $2 billion worth of crypto. $2 billion. But they can only sell 100 million per week. That's what they're approved for. Now, it could go up to 200 million if all the parties, there's like a few parties that I guess dictate whether this is a good idea or not, or I don't know who they represent. They're supposed to represent the people and the creditors. But if they agree, this could be bumped up to 200 million per week. But as of right now, it's 100 million per week. Now, 100 million is a lot. I don't know if they're going to sell OTC. I have a feeling they're not. I don't think they want to deal with it. I think they're just going to sell it on Coinbase or whatever, right? So there's a lot of concerns about this because look at this, okay? This is how much they hold. They hold 1.1 billion, yes, with a B, of Solana. They also hold 600 million worth of Bitcoin and about 200 million of Ethereum. And about 100 and something of XRP, and then it goes down from there, right? So majority is in Solana. But here's the good news. So the orange that you see is actually what's liquid and what's not staked, okay? So even though FTX holds $1.1 billion worth of Solana, which equates to 16% of the entire circulating supply of Solana, most of it is locked in. So here's a good breakdown. So as of right now, the Solana Foundation is getting about 645,000 Solana per month. Okay, that's roughly about 9.2 million right now. And this will continue until 2028. Okay, so that means there will be at least $9.2 million worth of Solana sold every single month, right? Which, if you think about it, isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things because Solana's market cap is in the billions. So if FTX is selling, about $10 million per month, I don't think the market's even going to notice really. But the thing is, when we get to about March of 2021, there's a huge unlock, okay, March and May. So you could see about 7.5 million worth of SOL and then 61,000, right? That's 133 million. And at that time, if Solana is higher, it could be more than that. So, there's still a lot that's locked in, right? So there's a lot that has not unlocked. So that's the good thing, that even though they are going to sell off SOL, right now, it seems like it's going to be very little. And the market should be able to just take it. Should just eat it up because it's just not that much, right? But we'll have to see because it is definitely a weaker market right now. A lot of FUD out there, right? Solana has had it rough the last 30 days here. You could see down about 36%, but they're not the only ones. Polygon also was down that much. Litecoin was down that much. So it's not just them. And XRP was also down that much for the last 60 days. So So they took a little beating, but they're not the only one. So we'll see what Solana does going forward. The funny thing is, they're up about 5% right now, right? So obviously, a lot of people don't care, and they're buying it up, right? Despite the fact there will be some dumping coming. Now, it's not just Bitcoin. I mean, it's not just Solana, though, right? I showed you guys this chart. There is $600 million worth of Bitcoin also, and $200 million worth of ETH, and about $200 million of XRP. You add it all up, that's close to $1 billion. $1 billion that they will start liquidating, but again, $100 million per week, right? So we'll have effect on Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and XRP. Again, $100 million a week. If they spread it out, I mean, their intention is not to dump and crash the market because it'll be stupid for them to do so. So they will try to space it out and time it right. So if you spread out enough, the market again will eat it, right? We'll be able to take it, so to speak, right? So that's the good thing. But it kind of sucks. I don't know why they decided that they have to sell it off. Why not just give it back 1-to-1, right? Or something close to 1-to-1. People that lost their Bitcoin or Solana, just give it back to them rather than needing to sell it off. I don't know. But yeah, that's the latest. That is the latest. Okay. But there are a lot of people that are defending Sol. A lot of people defending Sol on X. They're saying, don't worry about the FTX thing because much of it is locked in. They're not going to be able to sell it anyways. But it makes you wonder, was FTX the only reason for Solana's climb in 2021? They hold 16% of the circulating supply. So it makes you wonder, had FTX not bought any Solana in 2021, would they still be in the same position they are today? I don't know. It did. It just came out of nowhere in 2021. That's for sure. All right. So moving past this FTX, we got another, I guess, fuddish news, right? We got this Stoner Cats. I didn't even hear about Stoner Cats before. I didn't know. But it's an NFT collection from Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis. And this is the second NFT project that the SEC sued. Okay, so this time they paid $1 million in fines and destroyed whatever else they had, and that's it. They admitted to no wrongdoing, right? So again, SEC is starting to come after NFT projects. So anyone or any project that used to think, okay, we'll just fundraise with NFTs, since the SEC doesn't care about NFTs, they have to think again because the SEC is going after everyone, right? So just be careful. Because there are a lot of projects that I still talk to that say, yeah, you know what, we're just going to release a Founders Edition or NFT, collection, and that's how we're going to fundraise. That's not going to work in the U.S. going forward, right? Unless we get someone to kick out Gary Gensler. Okay, we even have SEC commissioners that disagree with SEC action against Stoner Cats NFT, right? But again, it all comes down to Gary Gensler. He decides, he is the chair. Doesn't matter how many commissioners on his team says they disagree, he will just do whatever he wants, right? So that's what it comes down to. And Coinbase hates it. Coinbase says SEC is costing the U.S. millions of jobs and pushing opportunities offshore. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Not only is it hurting the smaller guys in the U.S., right? It's also driving opportunities offshore to other countries that we should be able to retain in this country. A lot of jobs, a lot of innovation is being driven outwards. And that's not a good thing, right? And this is all due to the SEC basically not, or I should say Gary Gensler just, in a power grab situation where he's just declaring everything as security and whatever he says goes, right? And others are powerless to fight him right now. That's That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I was going to show this clip, but, I don't need to. You guys could guess what Gary says. He always says the same thing, right? Anyways, so moving past this, what about today? What about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin actually ticked up a little bit after we saw the inflation reading in the U.S. tick up a little bit too. The only saving grace for today's reading is core inflation actually went down, okay? But headline inflation went upwards. And inflation overall is no good, right? Here, I actually saw this, and this is crazy. Crazy. Core inflation went down because it excludes food and energy. In both of those categories, we see very, very, very elevated prices, especially food. Look at this. I don't know how this is correct, but look at food at employee sites and schools went up a staggering 57.6%. How does that make sense? How did food at employee sites and schools, especially schools, go up 58%? That makes no sense at all when overall food just went up 4.3%. Frozen vegetables up 14.7%. Salad dressing up 12.1%. Right? So there's some weird things. Apples up 8.5%. Uncooked beef steaks 10.7%. It's getting harder to get that protein intake, right? But yeah, it's just really weird. Food at employee sites and schools up 58%. I don't know how that makes sense. But anyways, that's why core inflation went down, because they excluded food. But if you add in food, yeah, we are ticking upwards. And it's no good. Inflation does this, okay? This is exactly what happens with inflation. Your money buying power, okay, goes down. And it just keeps going down from all the way back there to lower, 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 lower. Over time, you don't realize it. You think you have a lot saved in your bank. And then 10 years, 20 years goes by and you realize, well, I can't really buy anything with that money anymore. That's what inflation does. Inflation robs you of your wealth. That's why you need to hold something that can go against inflation, that can out-appreciate the inflation rate, which right now is at 3.7%, right? And that's what Bitcoin is all about, right? So the only chart I'm going to show about Bitcoin today is this, okay? The 1-year active supply. So whenever you look at the bottom point right here, whenever you have a supply peak, that's usually a peak for Bitcoin's price. But when you have the supply bottom, and then what does that mean? That's a bottom point for Bitcoin. And look at where it is right now. Despite the fact that we are way, 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 way higher than 2015, 2016 levels, when Bitcoin fell to a low of $160, even though we're at 26,000, the 1-year active supply has bottomed to the point equal to of 2015. That, my friends, is how much Bitcoin is being held right now by the long-term holders. No one is getting out of the game. Everyone in the game continues to hold and accumulate. No one is leaving right now, right? And if no one's leaving, well, you know, good days are coming. So just want to show you guys that, remind you guys, never, ever, ever give up, because we have seen this before. We have seen many rises and falls, right? But inflation is never going to go away, and Bitcoin will continue to rise because ultimately the demand keeps going up and supply keeps going down. And it's just that simple. That's it. That's all I want to talk about today. Today is Wednesday. So today, is today Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. So today's DCA day. I brought it up Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think we did very well this week. This last week, down 1%. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. For the month, we're down about 12%. That's bad. So, yeah, this month so far, September, October, has not been good. But it's okay. That's what DCA is all about. It's better to DCA when low. Dollar cost average down. When we recover, that's when you'll see the greens, right? So what am I going to go DCA into today? Let's see. I have enormous amount in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Polygon, BNB, Cardano. I have Solana in there. These are some of my favorite projects: Cosmos, Avalanche, VeChain, Arbitrum, Phantom, Chainlink Stacks. I mean, these are some of the best projects out there. What am I lightweight in? Optimism. There's a lot of talk about L2s. Optimism could use a little boost. I got Arbitrum in here already. Yeah, I don't need any more Pepe for sure. Injective got some good news today. I don't know. This is a tough one. When in doubt, just go with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a little bit more Bitcoin and Ethereum. Can't really go wrong with either one. So that's what I'm going to do. So $50 into 2 divided 2.6203. So that's 0.0019. And then let's add a little more ETH. All right, keeping it simple, Ethereum and Bitcoin for this week. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right. AMC Java, appreciate that. Clint Alexander, if Gary's going after NFTs, is he going to go after Donald and Melania Trump? I doubt it. Maybe. But I don't think that's, yeah, that's probably back of the list, if I had to guess. All right. Let's see here. No Cardano being dumped. I don't think FTX holds any Cardano, which is surprising. Let's see. I'm telling you guys, I am from the future. XRP and ADA will save you. As of today, I have $1,000 in Algorand. What do you think? Sell and buy something else or keep it? Sergio, I can't tell you what to do. But me personally, I'm off the Algorand bandwagon. I don't like how their leadership changed. I don't like how AlgoFi, their DEX, ran out of money. I don't hear a lot about projects moving to Algorand. And the SEC is also going after them too. So there's a lot of things pushing Algo down. David, Michael Saylor and others say to never sell your Bitcoin, that in the future just borrow against the BTC you hold. Thoughts? That's one thing that I disagree with Michael Saylor, because he got in a little trouble for suggesting that. He told everyone to do that and told people to go mortgage their houses and go buy Bitcoin, right? And he did that when Bitcoin was quite high, and Bitcoin has fallen more than 50% since those levels. So I don't think he really says that anymore. If you're in a position where you don't need, you don't need your crypto really to survive, it's investment, and you want to take some money out because you want to invest more with it, right? Like, if you're in a position like that, it's fine. But a lot of people, they're not in that position. They are greedy. They want to leverage. So by putting their Bitcoin down as collateral and taking a loan against it, what they do is go buy something else. And if the market comes down, they have no more money to put in as collateral. And then they get liquidated. So I don't suggest that. It's not for everyone. For some, yes, but not for everyone. Did you see the analysis the Visa team did on why they chose Sol? Super detailed. Despite the FTX FUD, you got to admit it's pretty bullish. I did not, but I did see the news. I can't dispute that. Solana does have many inherent goodness to it, right? If they could keep the chain active and not, and have it not halt or needing a reboot in the future. And also they got to get past this FTX FUD. Thoughts on DCAing larger amounts once a week or smaller amounts multiple times a week, ideally? Whatever works for you, man. Both can work just fine. If you have the time, if you want to spread it out multiple times a week, right, you could do so. But most, I would say, just want to do maybe like once a week or once a paycheck. That's every 2 weeks, something like that. There's no right or wrong answer. Jimmy, am I feeling better? Somewhat, but I'm tired. I'm just tired of everything. Can't wait for 2025 to come. Then I could retire, and then I won't be so tired all the time. Bazooka, yes. I've gotten off the Gala bandwagon because of the drama from the co-founders. Do I own a pair of black Air Forces? No, I don't own any Air Forces. I find a lot of the stylish shoes, like Jordan 1s. I had never tried Air Force, so I can't say how uncomfortable it is, but Jordan 1s and any of the early Jordans are the most uncomfortable shoes ever made. The later generations are so much more comfortable. I don't know how Air Forces are, so I never bought one before. Corina, I don't know enough about Robert F. Kennedy's views, so I can't make an opinion on that. Air Forces are comfy. Okay, I might get up here and just try it out. Which is better, staking ETH or Cosmos? I did have an article about Cosmos. I decided not to show it, but they made an upgrade so liquid staking of Cosmos now it doesn't take like 21 days to unstake. Cosmos does take an enormously long time to unstake. Cosmos pays out more because the inflation rate is higher, right? And that's part of the reason why Cosmos is in the top 10. The token economics of Atom isn't the greatest. Do I like Kobe shoes? Never tried them. Kobe shoes are all low tops, right? So when I was actually playing ball, I needed high tops. But now I've never looked into Kobe shoes. How often do you change the tires on my Tesla? I've never changed any tires on my Tesla. To be honest, I never kept them long enough to need to change my tires. So I don't. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. By the way, we're getting closer and closer. A lot of people are in Asia right now for ETH, Singapore, and Token 2049. Next year, I will be going for sure. Kind of feel left out not going this year, but I will be co-hosting with this event with Flux. So those of you guys that can make it, this is in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. If you guys are in the area, you want to go, you want to learn a thing or two, meet me and others. A lot of projects. I'll be on a few panels there too. So if you guys want to go, check it out. A big, huge coupon code in my description. But this is all leading up to WAG 2024, so I gotta get going on that. How low can Solana capitulate to? I mean, there's no answer to that. It could go much lower, for sure. It's still sitting in the top 10, right? So it has not really moved from its current position for a long time. So the good news is most of that Solana is locked, and they're only able to sell what they have and what gets unlocked, and that's not a whole lot, right? So that's the good news. The bad news is they will be selling that Solana off for a long time. The Rickroller, you know, it's funny about what you just said. I would rather sell the car than change tires. My friend actually made this joke about my car buying habits. When I had my Model S Plaid, you know, it has summer tires, right? So when winter rolled around, so rather than get winter tires, I just bought a Mercedes SUV as my winter car. So my friend always makes fun of me for that. Rather than buy winter tires, I bought a car. But it was not just for that reason. It was because for tax deduction reasons too. But that kind of, I still have it. Mina Shabishi, 2 super chats. Appreciate it. Do you know about Carl Sagan? What about him? We need another marriage counseling video. Well, you tell me what you want to know, and then I'll try to answer it. I'm not the biggest fan of Mina. They can't really support anything. It's just snapshots. Snapshots of transactions. It's a weird chain. What are liquid coins? Richard, that just means coins are locked in Like when you stake and you unstake, right? It takes a certain amount of time before it gets released to you. Also, there are vesting periods. If you are an early investor or you invested in something, pre-seed round or something like that, there are unlocking vesting periods that you have to abide by. So even though you own it, you can't take it out. So it's illiquid. Mark Bund, both of my vehicles are over 30 years old. Congratulations. I said that. I made a point this morning about being financial literate, which most people are not, especially in the US. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much they make, because people find ways to spend more and more money, right? And they raise up their, lifestyle, and they get used to it. And it's a never-ending cycle because people are not taught financial literacy. They're not taught how to save money, how to not spend money, how to invest wisely at an early age. These are things that they don't teach you at school. Well, one of the ways to save money is to not buy a new car every single year or every single 4 years, right? If you could drive a car for a long time, great. I buy a lot of cars because it's mostly for business use. Would you buy a car in today's market? I mean, some cars you could still get at MSRP and below now, so it depends, Johnny. If you really need a car, sure. I wouldn't pay above MSRP though. Robert knows a GLS 580. Like one of the last V8s. And I just found out that car has bounce mode. I don't know if you guys know, certain GLS 580s and Maybachs have this bounce mode where you can bounce off out of sand. But people just use it all the time because it looks like your car's bouncing and dancing. I just found out my car has that feature. My wife buys a lot of bags for business use too. As long as you could justify it or you can make videos. See, one of the great things about YouTube is if you start making videos about literally anything, it could be on bags or clothes or shoes, travel, meals. Like if you start a channel, it doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be TikTok, whatever. If you start a channel and you're active with it, and you could with that, whatever you're talking about, basically all becomes expenses, right? So that's a really good way to it's a really good way to deduct things that you love. Prelude or Supra? Of course Supra. Prelude. Never got into that car. No, you know what? Rebroker. Integra Type S around where I live, there's a ton of them being sold at MSRP. The Type R is being sold above MSRP. Seems like a lot of people don't like the Integra Type S for whatever reason. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, should you be worried about this dumping that's about to occur? Well, 100 million, not so bad. It's still significant. Let's take a look because it is just about to start. There's a lot of FUD around Solana. There's a lot of it being staked right now, so there's not a whole lot they could dump. But there is a lot of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and everything else. So we'll have to see how the market reacts to the dumping. But overall, do not be afraid. Do not fall for the FUD. Whatever happens, know that Bitcoin is only getting stronger and more people are coming aboard. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye.